Well, hello, everybody. It's morning for me. I'm actually in the Philippines. That's why the fake background. And I hope you're doing great. We are rocking and rolling and coming into the last trading day of the year. But today was interesting. Today was one of those interesting days in the market where it did a lot, but not on any volume, not on any conviction, not on any news, just because it's the end of the year, right? Which is really stupid. And so they drive markets up and down and they manipulate them. And we know what happens is on Wall Street a lot of these people, get their bonuses and they go to the Hamptons and they leave the junior traders in charge and like, just don't screw up the portfolio. We're going to get our bonus and we're going to the Hamptons and we're going to go enjoy it. And they put these little junior traders in charge, and the junior traders have some latitude to do what they do. And then they, if they're really good while the big guys are away, they come back and go, look what I did. I made all this money in the portfolio. And so they have an opportunity to manipulate here in this last week of the year as well. Let me show you what I'm talking about. By the way, this is education and information. It's not financial advice. Go seek your own financial advice. This is just fun and, learning stuff. Also, by the way, if you like what I'm doing a few more of these lives. If you like what I'm doing, hit the like button. It tells the algorithm and it tells me, hey, make some more of these videos or don't make some more videos. If you think these are a waste of time, tell me that too. Make a comment. And if you want to share this, for other people, that's great too. So all that being said, let's go and look at what happened to Tesla. I'm a big Tesla guy. And taking a look at Tesla. By the way, we do mostly covered calls. And so I'm coming at this kind of from the making money in income perspective from covered calls. And that's why I talk so much about Tesla, because I make income every week from Tesla using covered call system. So, but this is a 10-minute chart on Tesla. Just look at the last chunk there. And you could see that Tesla actually came out of the gate and went up to $265 and change. And then it just gave it up on the other side. It kept coming down and down and down. And it finally closed pretty much at a low for the day. So you could see Tesla is back to its old trading pattern, right? Where it moved, basically 12 points during the day. That's the ATR, or the true range of it during the day. And when I average 9 days together and I come up with an ATR. ATR is around 9 or 8 or something like that. It's really kind of compressed its volatility, because if you zoom out on Tesla, let's take a look at the daily, you can see that Tesla looks like it wants to go up. But you could see they manipulated it. You could see this was the week that it kind of went up for, 4 days in a row-ish, right? It hit a high. And then see this 250, 275. This is what I think is so cool about the market. That's a swing point that it wants to kind of look at. Now, it's in a fairly low volume. It's 135 million shares. Tesla does about 126 or something like that, or 122 on an average daily basis. So it was a little more than average, just not a lot more than average. And so there was a swing point where it couldn't hold the 250, 275, and it came back down the other side. It broke through it on higher volume. You see it blowing that away. And now it's back down to exactly to that 252 price, right? Where it hit the 252.71 and it's testing it. Well, isn't that interesting? It's testing it on a week where the big guys are all on the beach or at the Hamptons or whatever they do, in wintertime on the Hamptons. And so it tested it, and it tested it on low volume. And so what that's telling me is that's setting us up for a bounce off that little 252.75. What does that do? That puts us 268.94 in play. Now, 268.94 is also a small swing point at 122 million. So if this thing goes up with anything more, like a lot more, especially if it's a lot more, to the 268.94, it's going to blow that swing point away. That's what I think it's getting ready to do. Probably not coming up on the last trading day of the year, but probably coming up in the new year. We'll see. There's a big announcement coming up next week on Tesla's sales and inventory levels and how many shares or cars they sold, vehicles they sold, I should say. The street is kind of looking at 2 million. They're kind of looking at 500,000 for the quarter. By the way, Tesla is going to sell probably around 500,000 for the quarter, 500,000 vehicles delivered for the quarter. For the quarter, 3 years ago, Tesla sold 500,000 vehicles for the year. The stock's around the same price. So to me, this is an earnings compression story. And when the volume starts to take things up, just because the earnings have come down doesn't mean that the stock won't go higher, because I think they're going to turn up the knob on software updates, and the software updates are going to make them money. Full self-driving being the main driver of that. All right, I don't want to go too far in the weeds. I just want to tell you the action here is at 268.94, and it tested that 252.75 swing point, which is a healthy test. All right. I want to put it on a weekly, and then I'm just going to talk about the market real quick, and I'll let you go. You can look at this market, and you can see that Tesla has broken a downtrend. You see that downtrend I just drew there? Tesla is above that downtrend, and now that it's above the downtrend, it should make another, hopefully, an uptrending channel. This is see that little interesting thing. It should be able to support that. Now, it's a fairly steep angle on a weekly, okay? But it should be able to support that. In any case, it's doing all the right things. Again, I have no idea whether Tesla is going to go up or down. I believe it's going to go up. I bet the probabilities, in my opinion, are to the high side. But whether I know it or not, I collect the income every week from selling covered calls. That's Tesla. Let me just quickly talk about the market. And by the way, there's no news today on Tesla other than BYD or somebody else in China is going to sell more cars than them. Fine, because they have a cheaper car. Um, but Tesla is the leader, right? I mean, you compare Tesla with Ford, like I don't think there's even a comparison. They both make cars, but one's an old company that's like in trouble, and the other one's this new company that's got all this great stuff going on. And with the mandates that the government's putting in place with EVs and saying by 2030, 30% of the fleet in California has to be on renewable fuels, like that doesn't favor GM that had a quarter where they put out 26 cars, and Tesla's got a quarter where they're putting out, what did I say, 500,000? It's crazy. But you can see this market has done this long melt up, right? Quite a big melt up for the last several months. And a lot of people are thinking, well, okay, the melt up's got to come to an end at some point. And we all know that it does, right? This is kind of a little consolidation it's got going on at the top. But right now, everybody thinks that this market is going to go up because the Fed is going to print money. And I've been thinking that for a while. I'm usually early, if you know me. And so that's what's going on. But look at the market trend for just the 10-minute chart. Today, it basically trended lower on fairly low volume, right? This is the kind of the trend for today. Well, it filled in this little gap, right? You see that gap there? It's made in that little spot. It filled in that gap, so that's healthy. And we're coming into the last trading day of the year when people are kind of looking at their portfolios, or maybe they're not, they're on vacation. And that's what's, nothing's going to hold it up when the guys want to take it down, right? So I just find that interesting. It's kind of a non-day. I mean, a lot of people, maybe you're not even caring about the market today. But these little days kind of tell us something. When there's a sell-off on low volume, it's not telling us a lot, but it is telling us that maybe there's an opportunity to buy because there's not a lot of conviction on the sell. So to me, the market's bullish. It's bullish until it isn't. And it's been bullish since January 9th. And I'll put it on a weekly, and you can see that the market's been bullish since January 9th. And so here we go. I mean, look at this market, right? This is, we can go back to, here's January 9th, right in here, somewhere in here, right? And you can see we've gone from 11,555 to 15,000. I made the call. That doesn't mean I'm right all the time. I'm certainly not Nostradamus. That's why I sell covered calls and I get income every week because I don't know whether it's going up or down. But this is certainly a market where it's made a huge charge. And this little spot right here, the 16,212, is not too far out of the range of where it wants to go. And we'll see what happens when it gets there. Okay, enough for me. If I don't see you before the end of the year, thanks for checking in with me and following along my shenanigans and what I do. And hopefully every once in a while you get a little insight. If you do, give me a subscribe. I love to have new subscribers. Give me a comment so that I can know if I'm on the right track here. Give me a like, a notification bell so you know when these things go live or when I put out a new video. And do your research. But the most important thing is not money. It's abundance in your life, right? It's abundance with the people that are around you and the love that you have and the laughter that you have and the magic moments you make. So try to make some magic moments here as we head into the last couple of days of the year. Really enjoy yourself. Really enjoy the people around you. And I'll see you next time. Take care.